This play right here to mercifully end an awful Thursday night game was the perfect microcosm of the evening. An ill-advised sidearm sling by Russell Wilson that was broken up. He had a wide-open KJ Hamler who was rightly livid. And we've officially gone from let Russ cook to Russ is cooked. What the hell was that last night? Russell Wilson was hot garbage. Matt Ryan was hot garbage. These were two of the prize quarterback pickups in the entire offseason. And there's a huge problem when you look at Russell Wilson. He can't play anymore. He can't function anymore. Nathaniel Hackett is terrible at his job. Wilson has no feel, no commands, no clue. This interception with Gilmore was just awful. I mean, and by the way, they should have kicked the field goal. It made absolutely no sense. That was one of those, well, let's get Russ a touchdown so he can feel good and pad his stats. Because the numbers on the season, they are an eyesore, grotesque, deplorable, pathetic. I mean, this is just as bad as it gets. This was arguably the single worst football game I've ever seen. Arguably. I once watched every snap of a Greg McElroy, Ryan Lindley, Cardinals-Jets December 2012 game. I have always argued that was the worst game I've ever seen until last night. Because you had Matt Ryan and you had Russell Wilson, and these guys had no idea what the hell was going on. The saddest display of professional football I've ever seen. How the Colts won that game, I have no idea. No idea. There wasn't a touchdown in the game. Matt Ryan was awful. The offensive line was awful. I mean, that's wild that Indianapolis found a way to win. Credit Matt Ryan at the end after Russ threw that pick, which again, game management, play calling from Nathaniel Hackett at the end of that game was horrendous. Give Matt Ryan credit for that drive. Then the drive in overtime and McLaughlin kicking field goals left and right. I mean, it was gross. It was mind-numbing. You wanted to pull your hair out. I don't like to do anything bad to my hair. I love my hair. But I hated that game last night. Every single element of it. Nathaniel Hackett's going to be one and done. He's going to get fired with the Denver Broncos. He has no feel, no clue. How about an overtime? The throw to Jerry Jeudy. Russ hits Jerry Jeudy, the only good throw he made all night. And then they run 3 straight times, which made no sense. Then it insinuates you're going to kick the field goal to tie. Instead, 4th down, shotgun formation. Haven't we learned from week 1, no more shotgun formation? Nathaniel Hackett, instead of taking blame in the postgame news conference, we decided? We? Is it Russ? Is it Peyton Manning? Is it John Elway? What, is it the clock management guru you brought in? That was gross. Russ is cooked. A little less than 1 year ago, that my guy Joe Burrow pasted the Ravens in Baltimore for 416 yards and 3 touchdowns, showing the NFL that the Bengals were for real. And I really believe my guy Joe Burrow primed to have another one of those signature type of games Sunday night against Lamar Jackson and company. To me, right now, the Bills are the best team in the AFC. Kansas City's number 2. I have the Cincinnati Bengals as number 3. Burrow, Chase, Higgins, last year, home and away, torched the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are reeling. Their defense has been terrible. They lost in gruesome fashion last week against Buffalo, Miami. Same kind of fashion a couple of weeks prior to that. And I think while Lamar Jackson has that unbelievable quotient for always playing his best when it matters the most, when the bright lights are on, listen, Joe Burrow's the same kind of cat. There has not been a moment this year, right, that we have talked about Joe Burrow as an elite quarterback. He's been good. He hasn't been great. We've talked about Lamar. We've talked about Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, about Josh Allen, even Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. We haven't talked in glowing fashion about Joe Burrow. That all changes on Sunday night. It's going to be the reminder game. Joe Burrow is still sensational. The Bengals are the best team in the AFC North. and Cincy behind Burrow is a force. I love this from Buck and the Mets. They're starting Max Scherzer tonight against Yu Darvish, game one against the Padres, and then they're going to see how it goes. And that's going to determine when Jacob deGrom pitches. And normally, I'm a go for the jugular. You can't factor in tomorrow, let's win today kind of guy in terms of strategy. But Scherzer, who's obviously first ballot Hall of Famer, had a remarkable season. That's the guy for tonight. And the Mets are going to win tonight, and Scherzer, Darvish, both going to pitch well. Scherzer's going to win. When the Mets win, I would then start Chris Bassett over Jacob deGrom. And normally I would say go for the jugular, try to punch him out. The Mets winning in the wild card round means absolutely nothing. Means nothing. They want to get the rotation set for the Dodgers in the divisional round. Chris Bassett has had a really good season. He's been really solid. So this way you start him in game two, assuming if and when the Mets win tonight, and then you save deGrom either for win or go home, game three on Sunday, or game one of the divisional round to go up against the Dodgers. Making the wild card means absolutely nothing. Mets need to win. There is great news for the Mets. Sterling Marte, who has been so tough, so clutch, so excellent for the team, injured vast majority of September, didn't play against the Braves. He is active. He's in the starting lineup. That is amazing news for the Mets. Gives them some energy after the collapse. What transpired in the National League East. I'm telling you right here, right now, I am with Buck Showalter. Right move tonight with Scherzer. If they win, do not pitch Jacob deGrom on Saturday. Welcome back. Time to shine. Love or loathe, as per usual, on a Football Friday. And Arthur Smith, the Falcons coach, just terrific on my SiriusXM radio show today. He knows Sunday's game against Tampa is going to be a challenge. So, love or loathe, the Falcons can hang with Brady and the Bucs on Sunday. I love this because that's exactly what Arthur Smith's Falcons have been doing all year. They know how to hang. Frankly, they outplayed New Orleans in week one. Then they were hanging all game, almost came back and beat the Rams. Then you saw them win close games against Seattle and Cleveland. And this Tampa offense is just not that good. The Falcons are incredibly well coached. Line has been great on offense. I think Arthur Smith is a fantastic coach. And don't misinterpret, I think that Tom Brady, Mike Evans, and the Buccaneers are going to win. But I think this is going to be a tremendous ball game between two division rivals and two squads that have the same record at 2-2. Staying in the NFC, Cowboys are 5.5-point underdogs to the Rams this weekend. To which Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy said, "We're nobody's underdogs." Spicy, so love or loathe. The Cowboys should be favored against the Rams. I love this. This is an upset special. I'm with Mike McCarthy. I couldn't believe this point spread when I saw it because Matthew Stafford, the Rams offensive line, going up against Micah Parsons and Dan Quinn and Lawrence and Diggs and that defense. I mean, it's not a fair fight. And frankly, I love Cooper Rush in this matchup. I would never in a million years thought I would say this after week one of the NFL season, but I expect Cooper Rush to play brilliantly in Los Angeles against Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and the Rams. What a time to be alive. Bears offensive coordinator Luke Getsy said this week that he doesn't think Justin Fields has had a rough month. So, love or loathe that statement. L-O-L. Loathe. Have you watched him? I mean, I heard what Getsy said, and I literally started laughing out loud. I mean, Justin Fields has 7 turnovers. He's been sacked 16 times. He has a completion percentage of 50. 50! Half of the times he drops back to pass and throws a pass, it's not completed. He's the worst on third down. He's just been terrible. We could talk about cart, horse, chicken, egg, why he's been so bad. He's been dreadful. And lying to him and to Bears fans doesn't do you any good. LOL, loathe. That is embarrassing. How about the Philadelphia Eagles? Love or loathe? Philly stays perfect on Sunday against the Cardinals. love. And this is all about handling success and prosperity. I think Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, the best team in the NFC, great run game, offensive line, great receivers, great defense. You know, in theory, right, this is a tricky spot going to the West Coast. You know, playing Arizona, there's going to be more Eagles fans in the stadium than Cardinals fans. Kyler runs around. There's no way this Eagles team is going to take anybody lightly or for granted. They're too tough. They're too clutch. They're too good in every single area that ultimately has you win football games. They absolutely will stay perfect this weekend.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.